the mud, came up, they ain't think that I could do it. Rise up, then I look back like, man, I knew it. Out the mud, was in the dirt, climbed up. Now I'm on top and it's stuck. Out the mud.
It's your girl, Coco, and this is
Hollywood.
And we have a very special guest with us today, Mr.
Agodi.
And we got Phil. We're about to get into all Phil's business. No, just kidding. But yeah, so thank you first and foremost, because I know you are a very busy guy and you have 100 things to be doing, and for you to come and take a time out just to be with us, do truly appreciate that. With the Out the Mud podcast, because, you know, we get stuff out the mud and it's hard times, good times, and bad times. With that being said, you know, to start, could you just tell us, like, you know, a little bit about you, you know, your work and what type of work you do that helps others, you know, because I know you and I'm quite sure he has a very big Instagram and social media platform, but, you know, our followers and listeners might don't know who you are and, like, what type of work you do to help others.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the credit repair industry, credit repair specialist. I help people fix your credit, you know, regardless of the type of negative information that's impacting your credit. I can help you remove all those things completely and get you to the 700 club. And, if you're somebody who's looking to get funding with that, I can help you get funding. I have partners, I have relationship with underwriters that can help you get the bag. So
I love that. He's the money man. He's definitely the money man.
That's how America runs, don't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, like, with that being said, and I love that you are, because a lot of people, that's what we need. We need definitely credit to do absolutely everything.
Everything, pretty much.
You can't even buy a car without credit. So it's
I know.
Jesus.
So
at this point,
let's take it back a little bit, because we are Out the Mud. So we want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
So we're gonna start from what made you who you are. Tell us a little bit about little you and your family life. Say, as far back as you can remember, from what shaped you for who you are. Like, tell us about how your family life was.
So great question. So pretty much I was going all the way back. My earliest memory is in Nigeria. This was probably around 1998. We're living in Abuja, which was the capital of Nigeria. I don't know if it's still the capital, but, you know, sometimes it's Lagos, sometimes it's Abuja. But yeah, you know, mom and dad, three siblings, and, you know, life was great. My dad was in the customs, which is like Homeland Security, and, you know, everything was really good around that time, and, you know, I didn't really understand much about money or anything like that, so I thought life would just be always that smooth, but, you know, things go up, things go down, and next thing you know, we were leaving like a really nice neighborhood gated community, and we were moving more to like a suburban, you know, single family type of house, and from there, I just noticed the shift between, you know, living in like an affluent community to like now we're amongst more like, you know, 9-to-5ers, you know what I'm saying?
You're like, whoa, so what's going on?
So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like our friends change. We used to have friends that had like all the video games now, and nobody on the block got the video. We like the only ones with the video.
Are we struggling now? This is different.
Wait, so why did you guys move? Why did that shift happen?
So I honestly don't know. So my parents passed away. It was like around 2000, both of them passed away, but things started shifting, like, you know, in that period of my life. So as we're moving into this new neighborhood, you know, my dad wasn't working in the big city anymore. So he would be away a lot, you know, before it would be, you know, he would go to work, he would come home. Now it's more like he's away for a duration of time.
What's going on?
You know what I'm saying? So
Dad is leaving. What's going on?
So you start to understand, like, money a little more, like the
Yeah.
importance of it, and
Yeah.
how like you can ask for like a, I want this toy, and it's like, sorry, we can't get that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, before you promised
Probably,
you
right. We could get it before,
Exactly.
so now we can't get it. It's like, what's going on?
So that was happening, but nothing too dramatic.
Yeah.
In terms of like, okay, like I want to be in the financial space when I grow up. I want to be rich.
Yeah,
So I
none
just
of
want to be
that.
like my dad. I just want
Right.
to be like my dad.
Okay.
And so long story, I don't want to say long story short, but as we continue in life, it kind of starts to go even further downhill. We are still in the same like state, but now we're moving from a bigger like suburban area to
Yeah.
a smaller suburban area.
Oh wow.
So there was like, that's when like the turmoil started happening.
Yeah.
We had like 3 cars, now we got 2, downsizing a lot.
Like, whoa,
You know?
whoa,
So-
pump your brakes.
Thank you. And I think we were changing schools too. The schools that we were going to, like, everybody wore uniforms and stuff, looking real nice.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of like, all right, let's go to this other school. So it's like a lot of moving parts, and dad got sick at one point, so he was now at home, not working, and it was more so my mom who was kind of going to work, and we would go to school, but dad would always be around. And from there, my mom started getting ill too. It's like the stress of having to be the breadwinner now.
Yeah.
And from there, you start to understand, like, oh man, like the reason why we moved was because things are not going so well.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like money is really like
The rule
the rule
of
in
life.
this life we're in. So from that point on, I started. I think it was like that shaped my earliest introduction to money and the importance of it. And ever since then, I would say things like, I want to be an accountant when I grow up.
Yeah.
Not really know what accountants do, but
Right.
it just sounded like they must be rich.
Rich, right.
They deal with money.
Yeah, you're like, let me figure out where the money is, because at this point, somebody has to have money.
Exactly. And from there we moved to the village. So in Nigeria, the village is a big part of like the societal structure.
Yeah.
So you have like the city, and then you have the village. So the village really like is where family and like extended family, your
Yeah.
grandmothers, your grandfathers, everybody would be in the village, and the city would be like the adults who were working age and trying to
Right.
make money, bring back home, all that. But now it's like we're moving to the village.
You're like, whoa.
So imagine the shift from being
Buckhead, going to Bankhead. You're like, whoa.
Riverdale.
Right, exactly. It's like, hold up now. So you know what? That is like Atlanta. Atlanta is like, the top
And it was funny.
city.
When I came here, I
Yeah.
felt like Atlanta reminded me a lot about Nigeria.
Really?
Because like, we have a very good black population.
Yeah.
And, you see a lot of black people doing really well.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
yo,
how I felt.
and it's like the weather and everything.
It's
I'm like,
whoa.
this is Nigeria 2.0.
Back home.
Yeah. You're like, I'm home.
I'm not even
The
lying.
motherland.
Like Eddie Murphy was like, that is good.
Everybody does that to
But
the
so the younger you and the adult you, your adult childhood, and you know what? We never know how to differentiate the difference between like our young childhood and our adult childhood. So reflecting on your early adult childhood, what was your career like? Like after you went through like the stuff of going to school, going in different schools, having to go to more diverse or probably more culture
Exactly.
schooling.
Yeah.
Then growing up as like getting your job, like getting that good job that was like, okay, I'm making money now, because you did say you want to be an accountant.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now you have made it to that point of like, okay, I'm making money now. What was that career like, and what did it do for you?
So the whole like transition between that part of my life to now being in America feels like a very condensed time, but it like looking back, it's a lot that really happened in that period. So just to connect the two, like we moved to the village. My dad passed away. He was the first to, leave us from this world, and then it was my mom, and then it was like, we had to like go with different family members. My two brothers and one sister went with my uncle. I went with one of my aunts to live with her. She had like a restaurant business, and from there, I think we spent like a year together. And I remember we had to go back to the village because financial reasons again. Like the restaurant business is very up and down, and by the grace of God, I have my mom's best friend since childhood was already living in America. She was living in Massachusetts, and knowing the news of what happened to her best friend in childhood, she reached out to my aunt and my grandmother in the village, and pretty much set up the whole process to bring me back to America.
Oh, wow.
So wait, did she bring all of your siblings back, or just you?
So I was the only one who was born here. I was born.
Originally born here,
I was
and then moved back to Nigeria.
Moved back to Nigeria, and the funny thing is, my mom actually stayed with her during that period.
Wow.
So she came to America and stayed with my aunt that lived in Massachusetts, and pretty much was like taking care of us while she was going through labor and all that.
Right.
And then so long story short, I came back in 2003, and continued elementary school, middle school, high school, and then went to college. I went to West Virginia University. Shout out Mountaineers, and finished with a degree in business administration with a supply chain management emphasis and minor in communication. So my professional kind of like life started right after graduating West Virginia. I immediately started working for the procurement office. So pretty much anything that has to do with supplies that go to the school, doing vendor, evaluations, stuff like that for the university. I was part of that process, and it was cool in the beginning. You always have this honeymoon phase when you get a new job. And you start getting paid.
Like that.
You start making good money.
Like that,
Then all of a sudden, you're just like the monotonous, the freaking like every day is the same thing.
Yeah.
It just like drives you crazy. And I'm like naturally like into art. Like I consider myself an artist, even though I don't draw as much as I used to.
I used to draw.
Yeah, it's nice.
A lot. Like I used to be that. I won like most artistic.
Really?
In middle school and going into high school, the competition got better, but I felt like I should have gotten the.
I should have been the top.
The superlatives.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? But it's politics. Yeah. So with that, like personality type that I have, and working in the very structured, routine, it just didn't mesh. And I was like, man, I need to go back to school. So I did a little bit more grad school. I actually started studying accounting.
Like you wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I gotta find this money. I know it's out here somewhere. Let me find it. I love it.
And the sad part is, like, accounting was not what I expected it to be.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was not what I expected it to be.
It's definitely not.
That's the worst when you get the goal and then it's not what you expected.
It was like the opposite of what I wanted to do, like crunching numbers.
That's crazy. So since you did get into that career of what you thought you wanted to do but did not do, what emotions that you just decided to be like, you know what? I can't do that during this time. Like I'm about to cut this off.
I think it had to do with like I felt like I was in a position where I was looking for someone to create the life that I wanted.
Okay, gotcha.
When at some point I had to realize I got to do it myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not saying there isn't amazing opportunities out there with industries and companies, but like in my experience, everywhere that I went, I felt like there was always that ceiling where it was like, all right, the honeymoon is over. Yeah. Like, is this going to be what I do for the next like 5 years?
Exactly.
5-year plan? Like, am I going to be stuck in this role? When am I going to get promoted? Am I going to get more money? Like, is there going to be another, exciting moment?
Yeah.
It just never seemed to happen. I don't know if it's due to I gotta be accountable. Like maybe it's on me, maybe it's on them, but like it just never happened. And that's why I was like, let me, especially during COVID, let me take this opportunity and actually learn something. And that was the moment where I learned about credit. I literally was like, oh, I had bad credit. Like I thought that this stuff had to be on my report for 7 years.
No.
But all of a sudden, people started like talking about credit a lot on social media.
Yeah.
I'm reading this book that is literally like breaking down how, we understand racism. Like we know it's a real thing, but we don't really understand it in the sense of like the financial side
part
of
it. Exactly.
We know the socio, not socio-economic, but like the, like calling the N-word.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
The difference of it,
But like, you could have the same interest rate as somebody white, your counterpart, and they get actually you could have a better interest rate.
Navy Federal just got a lawsuit because of that.
I did not see. And that's a practice that was really going on. Like, even with the 2008 financial crisis, a lot of that stuff started being packed and like being revealed. Like, like financial discrimination is a real thing.
Exactly.
So you might be somebody with bad credit and thinking like it's all on you, but actually like there's
discrimination.
It's a two-way contract, and they're violating you, and you shouldn't feel guilty for defaulting. Like it was intentional.
Exactly.
They wanted you to fail.
They definitely do. It's definitely set up for failure for sure.
All right,
the call off. So I'm not gonna help. She's like,
all right. So it's COVID time, and things were starting to feel mundane. And so you started getting the credit because you started seeing everybody in the credit. But was there anybody in like specific that you kind of took on as a mentor? I know you said you started reading a book, but was there anybody who kind of like guided your journey?
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit about who that was and like how that was.
If y'all don't already, y'all probably already know Darius.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that. That's how I met Phil.
The crazy part is, me and Darius went to high school together.
Yeah.
And his personality is still consistent. Like he's always been like a leader. Whether like he's not, given the podium or the platform to do that, regardless of any position he's in, he's always had that leadership mindset. And I read this book called Watchdog by Richard Cordray, who was the first director of the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, for those of you who might not be aware.
Right.
So pretty much in that book, it breaks down the whole like scam with credit and how having bad credit is not so much on you. It's really on the financial institutions that are manipulating you.
Wow.
So after reading that book, I got all the information, but like to take action wasn't really there. Like I wasn't like, okay, hey man, you need help fixing your credit.
You're like,
I was not.
Which way can I go with this?
I had the information, but I didn't know how to like execute.
Yeah.
Darius came in with his mentorship with credit and like being in the community and seeing other people getting results that didn't even do the background work that I did. They don't care about it. They just want something that works. They just need something that's actionable.
Yeah.
Darius, I don't think Darius has read this book.
Yeah.
I showed it to him multiple times.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's cool.
Good. Yeah. Like, I don't have time to read this. What's going on?
Like,
just tell me what's
how many pages? Okay, that's dope.
Right.
So he was very like proactive. And that's what I love about him. So he gave me the whole like marketing side of things, how to actually like, and he does the same thing. Not so much hands-on like before, but he gave me the blueprint. He showed me exactly what to do with it, and knowing like what I know in the sense of like, this is not just like a social media trend, but it's really grounded in legal and laws and statutes and the Supreme Court, all like the whole like having bad credit, all that stuff. Really like understand. Understand it's not on you. It's really on these institutions. Like they change interest rates with you know what I'm saying? They have
That's
really
so
small
true.
fine prints that they know
So
you're not
true.
gonna read.
Yeah.
They discriminate. Like, yeah, you have a great credit score, but like you think you're getting the best deal when in reality they're giving somebody who has a less credit score, but
Yeah.
it's different skin color, better deal. Just
That is so true. That is so true.
Trying to keep us down.
See, Tay, she's a realtor too. So you know for a fact, like when a person's trying to sell their house. It was just something in the news about this. When a black couple was trying to sell their house, they had pictures of them. They dropped the rates of it, they dropped the price of it, but as soon as they pulled their house off of the market and put it back and put lighter faces in their house, it's
and it was
so
the appraiser too. It was the appraiser who came to appraise the house.
Yeah.
They appraised it for a lot lower than it was worth because they had their family pictures in it. And a black family owned it.
Yeah.
you better sue.
So exactly. So basically what you're saying is absolutely true. They definitely look at you and your geographics of who you are. You know what I'm
zip
saying?
code is like a big thing too.
Ooh, that's why I always use farther out zip code. Because you know what? Because if you use the 30315 zip code, that is the Atlanta zip code.
Okay.
That's automatically in a what they say middle class
Got you.
range from 30310 to 30318 or 20. That's automatically in a downgrade.
Lower class.
But they don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
They just see that zip code of you and they automatically say, "Oh
They
yeah,
probably see your name.
yeah." LaQuisha got an 800 credit score and has a good job making 7 figures, but simply because LaQuisha is LaQuisha and she's a black African woman, they're gonna deny her of any type of work. It's so crazy. So yeah, Phil is definitely, he knows the behind the scenes of it, and he knows how to navigate in order to get people exactly what they want. But finding a mentor, that is good. That is great, right? But with finding a mentor, as you know, and I know too, and Tay as well, is that you definitely have to, pay in order to have those sit downs with these mentors and have someone to guide you and hold your hand. Because that's basically what mentors are, is holding your hand. Like how much that you had to sacrifice, to really get deep into that. Like I am a student always mindset, because I know you're a husband and you're a father as well, but it's some of those things that you have to sacrifice. Like I can't be a dad right now because I'm focused,
It was tough because I actually had a job during that period, but like I knew that I had no other choice but to actually learn this stuff because this is not stuff you learn in school. Like point blank, like I've been to higher ed. The big higher ed that you watch on TV on Saturdays for college football, they don't teach you that stuff.
Right.
So I went to grad school in accounting. Like they're not teaching you the importance of none of that stuff.
No financial literacy at all.
And I was very lucky to have Darius as my first mentor because we have a personal relationship. So it was almost like I was getting a huge discount that other people otherwise would not get.
It's like a big brother now.
Exactly.
Dropping gems
like
on
I could literally just text him. Like most people would text him and he would have to ignore it because it's impossible to stretch yourself thin like that.
Exactly.
But we don't always talk about business. We can talk about sports. We can talk about life. Whatever. I could just be like, hey, by the way,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I disputed this account, but it keeps coming back. Like what are your recommendations?
Which way you do it? Yeah.
So, just to answer your question, like the sacrifice was pretty much like after work. Darius would have his calls around 7 p.m. And I would literally log in. We only had one baby at the time, so wife would take her in a separate room, and I would just be in the living room, headphones in, and pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be like a 2-hour call, 3-hour call because people got questions, and these are very important questions because people going through the exact same experiences you have, and you want to see what's working for them. So there's no like, oh yeah, it's been an hour.
Bye. No.
It's
I'm clocking out.
And Darius is very patient too. He's very patient. He's like one of those people that you can ask him many questions to, and he's gonna answer them. I agree.
Even being in the community, in the Facebook community, he had that at the time. I would be scrolling, I'd be taking screenshots, I would be looking up people's questions and
Right.
answers and recordings and all that stuff, going back just to see
What's
what worked.
what?
So
Right.
it was a lot of sacrifice, but it didn't feel like a sacrifice. It felt like I was investing into
Yeah.
something really good,
Really,
and
yeah.
and I saw the rewards in a very short amount of time. Like, think about it. I had a repossession right after graduating. Like, I got a vehicle while, like, after I graduated college. Got a car because I needed it to get to work and home.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after, maybe a couple of years later, got repoed, and that was on my credit report. $9,000 sitting there that I gotta owe.
Like, whoa.
I got another thing like medical credit card, care credit. I had that. I had Massachusetts Department of Education loan because I withdrew my application after the deadline.
Yeah.
Boom! Like, I had so many.
Like, whoa, I was stacking up. Like, why are these people on my credit? Who are you?
It was like the inquiries.
Oh yeah, the inquiries
Wazoo.
going crazy.
So it was a lot of like, you have one thing, you get one thing deleted, you feel good.
Yeah.
Momentum. Right?
Yeah, you're doing some things.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I got this.
It's like 9,000 gone.
We're like, whoa. Yes. So with the inquiries though, because a lot of people don't know that inquiries, can it harm your credit or can it help your credit?
So it hurts your credit if it's very new, especially if it's not tied to an open account.
Gotcha.
So inquiries are inevitable if you're gonna get like something for it.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get like a car and you get that inquiry, or if you get multiple inquiries because you did it the wrong way, after 6 months, the one that's actually tied to an account is no longer gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Now the other ones that are just there because the dealership had to do their play, those will hurt you, because to a bank, when you're trying to get something, they're looking at your report, and if they see like you have so many inquiries with rejections, that shows them like, oh, you must be a risky borrower, you must be untrustworthy. So like,
gotcha.
If we're gonna give you credit, let's not give you the best terms that are favorable for you. Let's give you something that's favorable for us.
Yeah.
So we could get like all the money up front in case something go wrong.
Because by the looks of things, you're not going to pay us by all these inquiries.
Yeah.
I had this girl, she sent me screenshots of her credit. And she's like, oh, I just have like 2 or 3 medical bills on it. So I'm like, what about, your name? How many names do you see on there? How many addresses do you have on there? What's your date of birth? What's, what I'm saying? Like, what else? Your employment. Those help or hurt your credit.
So it hurts you when when you have multiple names that are attached to different accounts, like if you have a collection and if it's attached to some of those also known as names on your credit report. Yeah. When you remove those inaccurate personal information, it helps you, because when you now dispute that account that was previously connected to it comes off easily, versus if you just keep it as is and just focus on the collection, they could keep coming back and saying it's been verified
because of the address.
Exactly. It's tied to that collection. So imagine if you've moved multiple times over the past 5 years, but your credit has been reporting that same address in the past 5 years on
It's
there,
gonna say
and you
that.
had some financial, situation, when they're writing the collection, they're going to be connected into that same address, even though you're physically not there anymore.
Exactly, but it's still connected to the address, because you're not disputing that address. You're disputing that collection. It's like, no.
So it would help to dispute the address first and then try to get the dispute the incorrect name first and then try to get the
Because think about it, once that comes off, then they can't legally say that you're the owner of that account.
Right. Thinking back, right? Going all the way back, you went through the ups of having the nice house to going to the middle class of having okay house. Then we had to go to the village. And I said the village was bad, but it was okay what we're doing now. Okay, thinking back of that, and all that you had to go through with the losing of your mom and your dad. I'm sorry to hear that. What would you have told your younger self Now, if you could sit face to face, what would you tell that person? That younger Phil?
Man, I feel like I would. Hindsight is 2020, so it's easy to say. Just tell them like everything is gonna be all right. Like it ain't. Life is not perfect. Like you just have to. Like you gotta trust God. You just gotta trust God, and you gotta like just believe in. And you're gonna see good people, and make sure whenever you're around them, you stay there. You're gonna see bad people, and you just gotta go back to the good people. Like it's hard. It's hard to say because I feel like I'm still that child. Like it's not like
We all still got that little.
You know what I'm saying? It's not.
You're still protecting that younger version of us.
Exactly. I'm still healing. I don't think I'm fully healed. Like there are moments where I just think man, like life is so hard. Like without parents. Like, but I also know people have parents that are going through it. So it's it's not always easy. But sometimes I feel like I'm a little biased. Like I'm like, man, you got parents. Everything easy. Like you can just call on them. So like. I would tell that younger me just to just keep fighting, like don't give up, and because it's so much easier to give up.
It is
for real.
It is. But then, what you was about to say?
No, I was gonna say that kind of leads me into my question, but
no, go. What was your question?
All right, so we like to end the podcast. Well, you already answered a very deep question.
Yeah.
But we always like to end the podcast on. Very, very deep question.
Like, how deep are you going?
We're going to hell. All right. So, you lost your parents, and now you are you're the leader. You have a family. You're a black man in America. It's a lot of pressure, and I feel like black men don't really have, not just black men, but men in general, don't really have an outlet or people to talk to about how they're feeling. Whether it's kind of seen as like not masculine or whatever when they talk about their feelings. But at this state right now, are you happy? And how do you define happiness?
I don't think I'm happy because of I feel like I'm going through the downturn of my business. It's like I'm slowly picking it up.
Yeah.
So I've been happier, obviously, but what I'm starting to know is whenever I have a downturn, there's usually a good, you know what I'm saying? So it's I just don't know how long the downturn is, but whenever you pass it, right, you don't really remember how long it took. I'm talking about when I had the bad credit situation, at the moment living through it, it felt like forever. But now it's
oh, nothing. Sweat off my teeth.
And you thought it was over.
You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm going through it again, it's oh man, how long is this one gonna last?
Yeah.
And what I've been really doing is I've been if you come to my house, if you come to my house right now, you would not see a TV on the wall. I took the TV down, took the TV out of the bedroom, and what I'm really doing now is just reading. I'm reading books because whenever I do that, it gives this calming effect and I'm learning stuff, and I'm learning other people's experiences that they're putting in words.
Yeah.
So I could relate, and I'm okay, I'm not alone in this fight.
You're not.
You know what I'm saying? So that whole suicidal thing, I think there've been moments where I've I think the term is suicidal ideation or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that deep into psychology like that, but I don't know if I've had that. But I've had moments where I'm
shit getting
man,
hard.
Sometimes it's if I'm not here, wouldn't it be just would I just be relaxed and just be chilling or worry about this? But at the same time, I'll be thinking Nah, like that's just
go
my
out like a
mind.
sucker.
My mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah,
Like I have
absolutely.
kids. Like there's no way I
Yeah.
want to like not be there for them and like
And have it as a memory, like, that's what dad did.
yeah,
It's
like
lame,
oh heck,
you know?
oh nah.
Because then, you
But
know.
the fact that it crosses your, like, it just briefly went into your mind just shows you, like, the struggles.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy because, you know, when you're on social media, everyone seems to
Looks
be having it good. Like,
Social media makes every single thing. Because you know what it is? Even like with me, I can go and post and I'll be like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just, honestly speaking, it's all in reference to like that presentation that everyone looking for, that within that 15 seconds or that 1 minute of your time, they're just looking to see like, how are you? Honestly, they don't want to really hear, like some don't, but some really do. Don't want to hear about your really sad story about what you're going through.
yeah.
They want to look at your lifestyle, look at this, look at that. But then you do have people that's like really want to relate to
Vulnerable and
you know what I'm saying? Show that
transparent,
vulnerability of like seeing who you really are. Social media is just a hype.
I know.
It's
Like,
just a hype.
It's a highlight.
and
It's a hype.
and it's crazy because you hear about some of these like successful people that would just take their lives, and you're just like, okay, it's clearly not money. It's
Right,
like,
it's not.
it's the character.
No.
So I'm like, okay, whatever it is that I'm going through, like, now that I understand this whole financial thing, it's gonna be a thing. It's like the stock market. It goes up, it goes down.
Right,
All right.
exactly.
So
Like,
money, finance, money's like a currency.
Yeah.
It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. So
Go in and out your
it's a
pockets.
frequency. It's not
frequency.
even.
it's not even real,
It's not
honestly.
even real.
So like what's really real is you. So
Yeah.
you have to be real. You have to be like, I go to the gym, like you say you wake up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's something that's been helping me a lot, just like prioritizing my day, scheduling what I'm gonna do. Like
Right.
the gym helps a lot because being around people who are very, you know, I'm looking for the word, like
Dedicated, motivated to themselves.
It make you like, man, I see these people in the gym
Yeah.
all the time.
It's like, yes, this is me. I'm doing this shit too.
I'm this person.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's good though, to start your morning with like high vibrations.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't even know. Like sometimes you could, like in a gym, you could look at a person, don't even know who they are, but just see how dedicated they are. Every single morning, every afternoon, whenever they go, you see them there.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a person that's taking an hour out of their time and just focus on them.
And it,
You know.
I bring that energy back home. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so much like happier with the kids. Like,
Yeah.
you know, kids can be annoying.
Oh yeah. I just dropped one off. He's aggy. He gets on my nerves.
But that gym just gives you that vibration,
Yeah.
that positive frequency when you like. You don't. Then you start to understand. Like I used to do that as a
Yeah,
kid. So
exactly.
you're more empathetic. You're like,
Yeah.
I see you just
I
spill
get
the
it.
cereal all over.
I get it. I get it now.
I did that once.
Yeah.
Who am
Now I get why my mom and dad was like, it's okay,
Yeah,
baby.
right?
Because they used to do it, you know?
Exactly. Generational.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a deep question, but like I'm getting better at it, and I think like I like the person I'm becoming because like this tough time is really like shaping
Builds
me,
character.
and building character.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot. I just read like 2 books in like 2 weeks. Like I
You should start a book club.
Nice.
Hey,
I'd be a part of it.
like
Yeah, for sure.
thank you for that idea.
Yeah, I know. Honestly,
That's good.
I got a bunch of
I done
books.
started Atomic Habits.
I have that.
Yeah.
Good
So
book, good book.
I'm starting that now. So yeah.
That's dope.
Even though people think, "What did you read?" I really do. I'm a hood geek. You know.
Yeah,
That's dope. That's dope.
I love reading. But yeah, we good. So how can people find you? Like, what's your social media platform? What's the phone number? Like, how we can find Phil? Let's find Phil. You like water? Let's find Phil.
Instagram. Yeah, the best way to connect with me is on Instagram at Phil Agodi. So that's at PHILAGODI. So search me there. You can send me a direct message. I post content every single day, so you know you can engage with it. You can find a lot of valuable information regarding credit or funding, and yeah, just hit me up right there, and we can
Yeah.
It's a business.
Social media, his social media platform is crazy.
Thank you.
I be on his page taking notes, like, okay,
Appreciate you. Appreciate
I be
you.
sending it to myself and screenshot, like, yeah, go to
I'm
here,
trying to
go
be
here.
like you, though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, you got very diverse, like, content. I'm like, I need to be outside more. So I see you.
You think so? I be inside.
Really?
She says that, but she be outside.
You have a nice face. You have a nice face.
Thank you.
Very professional. I like it. I like it.
Thanks. Well, we thank you so much, Phil, for sharing your story with us. Definitely dropping those gems, because credit is your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You need credit, just like you need your boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. But no, seriously, definitely thank you for stopping by on this good old Sunday, dropping those gems. And again, you guys can follow him, sign up for his master classes, sign up for his mentorship, sign up to get your credit fixed, because you need a house. It's all about buying. We need to buy.
And in January, taxes.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
For real.
I forgot about taxes.
Yeah,
Definitely
I do it all.
taxes, too.
I do it all.
And we are out the mud, and we out of here.